Caw-caw, Snitches! Big Bird is back with a brand new rap. The Trials of Tzeentch return to wreak vengeance upon the mortal plane, and the Great Deceiver has cooked up some diabolical schemes for our contestants here. Ragnar and Fatal Cowboy have been hoodwinked, duped, and quite possibly bamboozled as they lead the Dwarfs and Bretonians into battle because the Lord of Autogen has struck once again. That means there are some weird-ass builds on the way. We've got gyrocopters, hippogriffs, Pegasus Knights, and a semi-coherent French oven formation, which is where you let the peasants run into melee while you bathe everything in napalm. I mean, they're basically Skaven slaves anyway. Nothing of value is lost with their disappearance. Thane and a dismounted Broodlord are holding down the center. And I don't know what it is, but Autogen armies love giving Dawi 3 Iron Drakes. It happens almost every time I roll for them. On the northern edge of this desiccated wasteland march the despicable Druki and the scurvy Skaven, commanded by Floridian Fool and PD the Power Dragon respectively. They too have been corrupted by Tzeentch and forced into some rather strange picks. Warp Flame, the Wheels of Doom, the Raven's Heralds, Ikit Zap Zap Cannon, a Hydra, and the Knights of the Ebon Claw are all coming out to play, and one thing is already for certain: Tzeentch blessed the Dwarfs with an artillery advantage in this one, so the Dark Elves and Skaven need to get their butts grooving. I don't imagine an artillery duel will go particularly well for this Warp Lightning Cannon crew. It's one of the major downsides of building your artillery out of matchwood and pickup sticks. It makes for a rather large profile, and they kind of fall apart when someone looks at them funny. So yeah, 2 dwarf cannon crews should be able to destroy them relatively quickly. So take your bets now, ladies and gentlemen. Who's your money on for this one? A lot of firepower and flame on both sides, which is just how the Great Deceiver likes it. A lot of hyper-specialized units that would rather be anywhere else on the planet, like the Raven's Heralds. Guarantee you they're crying right now. Completely useless against both Bretonnia and Dawi. And Ikit Zap Zap Cannon just getting smeared into strawberry jam. Haven't seen a one-sided artillery pounding like that since the Battle of the Bulge. Here comes the Wheels of Doom, straight into the Iron Drakes as they spew flame and into the second ranks. They're going for a ride on the Funky Town train, and it's got a decent amount of armor, so all that flame shouldn't be too much of a problem. And neither for the Clan Vulcan's Tail Slashers, also getting bathed in napalm. They've got 70% flame resist, so they don't care about that at all. Warp Fire Throwers, I have no idea why you guys are out there getting destroyed by Rangers. And here, Ikit already completely surrounded by the cavalry. So I'd say the beginning stage of this battle has certainly gone the way of Bretonnia and the Dwarfs. Purple Son of Xerius dropping on the back line, not hitting a whole lot, kind of veered off immediately. And yeah, that 70% flame resist for Clan Vulcan's Tail Slashers, I mean, they just don't care. Normal Skaven infantry would already be a charred, incinerated husk, but they're shrugging off the worst effects of that Drake fire, and Iron Drakes would be better suited shooting at literally anything else. Supreme Sorceress floating overhead on her Manticore, waiting for a juicier moment to drop a more useful Black Hole Sun. Won't you come and wash away the rain while the Skaven weapon teams wheel into range and begin their opening salvos straight into Iron Drakes, who also have massive flame and magic resist, so it'll make those volleys about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop. And over here, Ikit Claw and the Death Globes. Warp Lightning, pretty devastating combination. Useful tools for thinning the herd, and Skaven convincingly winning out on that flank, destroying a lot of the Bretonian cavalry as the Gyros line up to begin their bombing runs on the weapon teams down below. Now, they'd be better suited going for the tightly packed, densely packed infantry, but still going to do some damage to those Warp Fire Throwers. And looks like the Skaven are beginning to tie up a lot of stuff in the back line alongside those Dark Elves. Dark Riders into the artillery, into the Iron Drakes, into the Grail Paladin and the Grail Reliquary. But Pegasus Knights will be able to see them off as the Rattling Guns spew a lot of their fire towards the Gyrocopters up top. That's a little bit outside their range. Do some great damage to single entities at close range, though. And they actually have dealt quite a bit of damage to the Gyrocopters so far. Crack's Call, busting through the flank of these guys. The Grumbling Guard, don't see that spell every day. I think that was Crack's Call anyway. Get the Helabroni and the Grumbling Guard going at it in melee. Should definitely go the way of the Dwarfs, but they're beginning to get a little bit swarmed here. And with the Death Hag nearby, might be able to push through eventually. That'll be a pretty tough fight. Bretonnian Lord already dead, and I said the Raven's Heralds were going to be useless this game. I lied. They sniped out that Lord so fast, and there's no Lore of Life to bring him back into the action, and Raven's Heralds will pay for that with their lives, getting torn apart by the wrathful Pegasi, who are now chasing the Succubi up top. But Ikit Claw died at the exact same moment exploded in a mushroom of green warpstone. He's out of the picture, and oh, here come Vistron's Death Squad. Death Runners on the field, bonus versus infantry, incredible melee attack values, and a lot of speed and physical resist to boot. They are going to be a problem for both Bretonnia and the Dawi to deal with. They are full HP, and now they are munching on the artillery crews and beginning to shut them down. So that might be the trump card if you are the Skaven here. If they can hunt down all these Iron Drakes in the rear, they can generate a ton of value for the Thagaraki and might be disastrous. But so is getting your Hydra blown up by Iron Drakes and not a lot of armor on Hydras. So yeah, those opening, oh my god. I mean, they just completely deleted that Hydra from the game. If he doesn't get a lucky roll here with another takes its place, that might be the last we see of that gigantic monster. Didn't do a whole lot this game. Kind of hard for monsters like that to make a large impact in 2v2 scenarios. So much artillery, even in Trials of Tzeentch, even in auto-gen armies, it can be very hard to make those things pay themselves back, but get them in the right position and get a nice breath attack down the length of the line can swing a battle in your favor real quick. Into the Hammerers go the Vistron Death Squad, and honestly, if I was them, I would avoid Hammerers because it's maybe the only infantry unit on the field that has a hope of beating them. They're going to take a lot of damage, both sides, as the Knights of the Realm charge in to the Clan Vulcan's Tail Slashers. Oh, glorious. Saving the Grail Relic, you got to save the Monty Python Poopy Peasants and their dead Grail Knight. Gorgeous charge, and that might just be enough to send them shattering and running for the hills as well. We've got a Goon Squad surrounding the Supreme Sorceress, fighting a dismounted Grail Paladin, running for the Iron Drakes, a big old charge coming in. Gonna send 6 or 7 of them flying and some heads rolling to boot. The Manticore is mad. The Supreme Sorceress needs to take back up into the air, or she might drop pretty soon. And she's gonna take my advice into the Gyrocopters and take a few of them down as well. The Iron Drakes are still online though. Knights of the Ebon Claw are looking real healthy, but they need a lot of time to get their cycle charging done. And there's a lot of Dwarf infantry kind of zoning them out, preventing them from getting at the squishy stuff. Balance bar is in favor of the Dawi and Bretonnians for now, but there's still a lot of win conditions left on the field for the Dark Elves and Skaven, so if they're able to get in on the right targets, they could definitely swing this one back in their favor. Not sure a Rune Lord qualifies though. Sitting there surrounding him would take a while to chunk through all his HP, and my god, that is a limp dick charge if I've ever seen one. Knights of the Ebon Claw, you should be ashamed of yourselves. I'm sure you could do better than that. Vistron Death Squad are going to finish off the rest of the Grumbling Guard, and they have killed a lot of infantry. Now they're fighting Knights of the Realm, and they're fighting decently high-tier infantry, so there's no way they're going to get out of this situation without taking a lot of damage, and they really need to be hunting down those Iron Drakes and the other stuff in the rear. Gyrocopters aren't making things any easier for them. Their Brimstone guns firing and reaping a pretty terrible toll, and it's starting to swing even further in the Dawi and Bretonnians' favor. Sisters of Slaughter are on the hunt, though, alongside the Council Guard Stormvermin, charging directly into the breach, wailing their terrible cries as they're immolated alive. Once more onto the breach, dear friends, once more, or close up these walls with our Druki dead, and they're gone. Army losses kicks in. The only thing left on the field are the Council Guard Albino Stormvermin. Not often you see Thagaraki fighting it out to the last rat, but they're going to do so now, and some juicy friendly fire coming in from the Dawi as well. It's like, Beast Slayers of Bastogne. Who are they? Let's just cremate all of them. Grail Paladin fighting 2, slicing heads off shoulders, left, right, and center, and one final Stormvermin. Oh my god, dude, there's so much friendly fire going on. This is really brutal. Dawi, what are you doing? This entire battle is going to end with the Dawi and Bretonnians coming to blows. Grail Paladin didn't mind it. He can shrug that off, but Beast Slayers of Bastogne were not so lucky. Immolated as the closing seconds of that battle came to pass. So, that was fun. Trials of Tzeentch makes for some crazy army compositions. Certainly some micro mistakes in that one, but it kind of comes with the territory. 2v2s aren't particularly easy to micro anyway, and especially when you're not used to these kind of army builds that are completely random, it gets very challenging at that point. Icket's Zap Zap Cannon got destroyed by the Dwarf Cannon Crews, which might have been the MVP that battle, but Vistron's Death Squad just completely mulched a lot of the Dawi infantry. Council Guard Stormvermin held out for a long time. The Bretonnian Lord on the Hippogriff did take out the Wheels of Doom, so he wasn't completely useless that battle. Cavalry did okay for the Bretonnians. Pegasus Knights certainly made a large impact, and the Iron Drakes 72 kills on one of them. Hammers did all right, but I think the cannons were probably the MVPs, and they got some chevrons earned in that one as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see some more Trials of Tzeentch, let me know.